Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I would like to talk about what Chris Roberts wants for Star Citizen in the year of 2023. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members, in particular to the Pandalorian Gaming for rejoining as a channel member. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. It is truly appreciated. So as the usual yearly tradition, Chris Roberts wrote a letter highlighting many of the ups and downs of the year past, including its finances and the backer player numbers. However, one segment of this letter that stood out to me was the section titled Looking Forwards, the Road to Alpha 4.0. Now I will speak about server meshing in a minute, but first I just want to talk about the new gameplay features and mechanics that Chris Roberts mentioned are set to come online this year. So Chris says the following features are rolling out in 2023. First up, we have the resource systems for ships, which is all of the components that talk to one another through the relay nodes, sending resources from component to component to make sure that the ships are capable of flying, which should also include the ability for us to replace and repair them. And hopefully this also means salvage them as well. Now this is a very big system that once it comes online will give us so much more to do in the verse with friends playing as an engineer, plus having much more refinement and control and customization with our own ships, being able to swap these components out, find better ones, salvage better ones, put them into our own ship. This will certainly take ships to the next level. Next, we have bounty hunting getting expanded into a proper game mechanic and career path with a full tracking system and the ability for players to actively restrain and transport both players and NPCs. Now this is going to make bounty hunting so much more fun, giving players the ability to play cat and mouse with each other, with bounty hunters using certain tools and systems to pursue their target, while providing bounties more opportunities to hide their tracks and evade the hunter. We also read recently in one of the monthly reports about work being done on restraining and the ability to remove these restraints. If you have friends and you've been captured, they might be able to come and rescue you. Plus an upcoming planetside location being the Bounty Admin Office, where bounty hunters can get missions from, can hook up with other bounty hunters, or even drop off any captured bounties. Also, do expect bounty hunting guilds and an app to kind of ping up any new bounty or information on the bounty you're tracking in the local area. And expanding the bounty hunting profession is of great interest to me, and the thought of chasing a bounty from location to location, going planetside or through space stations and so on, having to actively hunt and use your wits and tools to track them down will be so much fun, and I just can't wait to experience it in all of its entirety. Now, another major feature rolling out this year is persistent hangars with freight elevators. Now this says this will allow the players to call up our stored inventory and place things into storage. Now these hangars are going to be our first proper homes within the Star Citizen universe, allowing us to go back and forth as and when we please, using it as a base to store our findables, our cargo, our ships, our items, and it does sound like being able to request anything via the freight elevator. This feature for me will be a big step into feeling like we are actually living in the verse, as we will have a home location in which we can log in and out of, and also a place to display our finds and items. Now there will also be a lot of updates coming over from Squadron 42 to the Persistent Universe for 2023, much like what we saw during the Partner Development panel during CitizenCon, including more flexible player traversal, it says, which is better ladder and ledge interactions. Hopefully, it doesn't state it, but hopefully EVA Tier 2 and the push and pull system, that looked like it was quite well developed, so I'm hoping that will come over. Also the improved interaction system, which makes picking up and interacting with and putting down all the various items in the game much smoother and easier. FPS scanning is also coming along next year, which we also saw during this development talk, giving players the ability to scan their environment while on foot to reveal any potential interactables and items. The new star map as well, which is probably going to be one of the biggest wins of the year, and I'm really excited to see what new functionality it will have, not to mention just better usability. and improved MFDs using the new building blocks tech, which will make interacting with the MFDs, or the multifunction display panels, in our ships more user-friendly. And if the resource management system is coming online, then these new updated panels will be vital. And finally, it says much deeper combat AI, and I suspect this means both on foot and in ships. We are seeing a little bit of this roll out with 3.18, and hopefully a lot more throughout this year. Now, alongside all of this, the graphics team will be working on multi-threading and optimizations for the renderer, as well as hooking up the Vulkan graphics API, which will unlock some of the performance gains that the Gen 12 renderer can provide, on top of what it already does. Now, aside from all of that, Chris Roberts said the coming year is possibly going to be the biggest year to date, but the first order of business is to stabilize Alpha 3.18 for a January release, which, as we heard, they are aiming for a live release of 3.18 this month. Then they will continue to harden persistent entity streaming, improving aspects and adding additional quality of life features, including the ability to choose which PES shard that we want to join. And to begin with, if that shard is full, offering us the choice to wait in a queue to get back into that preferred shard. Now from there, the next step will be to separate the replication layer, which is very important for server meshing, and will make Star Citizen much more crash resilient, as the clients will stay connected while a new server takes over, replacing the last one. It will also make the universe around us more fluid and less laggy, as the client's update and refresh of object state will no longer be tied to the tick rate of the game server. So players will see state change from other remote clients and game servers as they happen at the rates the various clients and servers push them. Now, once this happens, Star Citizen will have multiple game servers simulating the universe state, also known as server meshing. Now, I'm not going to go into all the specifics about the difference between static and dynamic server meshing, but they are aiming to put static server meshing and the PYRO system into our hands in the fourth quarter of this year, so around December time 2023. However, it does say, due to the large amount of back-end services needed to do this, this timing is just an estimate. So personally speaking, it could quite easily be 2024, much like what we have seen with PES, where they wanted it out earlier in the year, but ended up having to release it into this year. Now, he does also go on to say that there is still a lot of unknowns with persistent entity streaming. Seeing how it performs after months of heavy load and seeing what impact that has on the PU, and then how to tackle that, will still need to be done. But that is the plans for 2023, and what Chris Roberts and Cloud Imperium are aiming for this year. Now, for me personally, as much as I was certainly hoping to see server meshing and PYRO make it in earlier than what is stated here, I am more than fine with them taking their time to ensure that it is all done properly and thoroughly, as seeing the list of potential features that we could see come to the verse this year will keep me more than entertained. And here's hoping that by Q4 this year, we will be taking our first steps into the PYRO system. But if 3.18 is anything to go by, we are already in for a big treat, as this patch is so much fun, aside from the current issues that will be resolved before it goes live, and I don't even think we've experienced the true potential that persistent entity streaming is bringing. So with that as a foundation for all of these other features and systems, I am going to be having a blast while we wait for the glory of PYRO. But with that said, we will see how this year rolls out. We will also be getting the roadmap update, I think is it February 8th, which should give us more indication as to what work is being done this year, and hopefully an idea of what to expect with 3.19, because as much as what is stated here for this year, I'm sure things like points of interest, planet-side points of interest, space points of interest, those sorts of things will also be flooding the verse, and as soon as we get more indication of this, I will get it out in a video. But with that said, if you do appreciate my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/supermacbrother. You are all more than welcome. We will be live today playing some more 3.18. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour. And tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.